in latest 5.89 billion cedi treasury bill auction. An energy analyst warns volatile cedi weakening driving forces behind fuel price surge as petrol and LPG prices set to climb while diesel offers modest relief in June 2026 pricing window.
If the cedi continues to depreciate, it means that price of petroleum products in the coming windows are likely going to see some surges at a time that prices on the international market are quite stable.
And energy analyst warns volatile cedi weakening driving forces behind fuel prices surges as petrol and LPG prices set to climb while diesel offers modest relief in June 2026 pricing window. And Bank of Ghana pushes stronger property checks as real estate fraud concerns grow.
Transparency is not only critical in financial transactions, but in fostering trust, ensuring integrity, and upholding the confidence of every stakeholder we serve.
We have details of these and many more coming up shortly. Stay with us. And now let's settle for the details of the stories. And Government of Ghana experienced its second consecutive week of under-subscription on the domestic market on May 29, 2026, failing to meet its short-term funding target as investor appetite remained muted. There's more in the following three business news desk report.
Seeking to borrow 5.892 billion cedis through its standard three-tenor treasury bill auction, government received total bids of 4.916 billion cedis from investors. Of the offered amount, the state accepted 4.866 billion cedis. This follows a rare undersubscription the previous week on May 22, 2026, where government fell short of its 4.486 billion cedis target by 264.86 million cedis. At 5.90% deficit, the consecutive measures signal a tightening environment for the state's short-term domestic borrowing needs. For the 91-day bill, investors offered 3.368 billion cedis, with government taking 3.362 billion cedis at a yield of 4.99%. The 182-day bill received bids amounting to 749.67 million cedis, while government accepted 705.65 million cedis at an interest rate of 4.04%. The 356-day bill got 797.98 million cedis in bids, and government took 797.98 million cedis at a yield of 10.45%, while investors offered a subscription rate of 83.45%, leaving a 16.55% bid deficit. Government chose to drop some bids, predominantly in the 182-day tenure. This resulted in a final funding shortfall of 1.025 billion cedis, meaning government successfully secured only 82.60% of its intended target, a 17.40% undersubscription.
And that was a three business news desk report on Government of Ghana undersubscribed by 17.4% in latest 5.89 billion cedi treasury bill auction. In more news this morning, and fuel consumers across Ghana face a highly mixed outlook for the first pricing window of June 2026 as the National Petroleum Authority (NPA) announced upward adjustments to the mandatory price floors for petrol and liquefied petroleum gas (LPG), offset by a minor drop in the cost of diesel. The Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy (CEMSI) and the NPA attribute the volatile shifting trends to removal of domestic government industry pricing support on petrol, even as global crude oil benchmarks slightly softened in late May. As pump price for petrol is projected to go up by 4.20 to 6.20%, LPG by 0.59 to 2.24%, while diesel decreases by 1.65 to 2%.
According to the NPA's latest pricing outlook, the regulated minimum retail floor for petrol will rise by 60 pesos to 15 cedis, 20 pesos per litre, up from 14 cedis, 60 pesos in late May. LPG users will also feel the pinch as its price floor takes upward by 32 pesos to hit 13 cedis, 48 pesos per kilogram. Diesel consumers will get a minor reprieve, with its floor price dropping by 32 pesos to settle at 15 cedis, 4 pesos per litre. These adjustments reflect shifting international market dynamics alongside a critical rollback of state interventions. To manage its fiscal space, the government recently removed a 36 pesos per litre subsidy on petrol and slashed its diesel price support from 2 cedis to 1 cedi, 7 pesos per litre. These revised relief measures are locked in for 2 pricing windows, after which they will be re-evaluated against global market conditions. The NPA emphasizes that these figures represent strict mandatory minimums for oil and LPG marketing companies. Final pump prices will likely be higher as individual commercial margins and international trading premiums have yet to be tacked on by local distributors.
That was a report on petrol and LPG prices set to climb, while diesel offers modest relief in June 2026 pricing window. Meanwhile, continuous local currency depreciation and shifting international commodity trends are the direct catalyst driving up domestic petroleum costs for the first pricing window of June 2026, according to Executive Director of the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, SMC, Benjamin Ntiang.
The reason why petrol and LPG are observing increment is, one, because of the price of the product on the international market, and also the depreciation of the cedi. We've seen one of the sharpest decline in recent times between windows of about 1.5% decline, where now the cedi used for computing export prices around 11 Ghana cedis, 60 pesos to the dollar. So if the cedi continues to depreciate, it means that price of petroleum products in the coming windows are likely going to see some surges at a time that prices on the international market are quite stable. So we should just be hopeful that the cedi becomes stable, and then price of the products on the international market also becomes stable. If these two determinants become stable in the short term, I think that the coming window, which is the second window of June, we are likely going to have stable export prices. But if any of these variables change, especially if the cedi depreciates and the price of the product also increase on the international market, it means that we are likely going to see higher price of petrol and diesel locally.
He had Executive Director of the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, SMC, Benjamin Ntiang. The Bank of Ghana is urging property buyers, investors and real estate brokers to conduct proper checks before completing land and property transactions, as concerns grow over fraud and disputed properties in the sector. The Central Bank says the Borrowers and Lenders Act and the Collateral Registry were introduced to strengthen the credit environment and reduce lending risks through improved transparency.
The Bank of Ghana says stronger due diligence and transparency in property transactions are critical to protecting investments and improving confidence in Ghana's real estate sector. Speaking at an engagement with the Ghana Association of Real Estate Brokers, Deputy Head of the Collateral Registry Department, Rosemary Akabutu, said conducting searches on assets before transactions can help reduce fraud and prevent losses linked to disputed properties and hidden collateral arrangements.
Transparency is not only critical in financial transactions, but in fostering trust, ensuring integrity, and upholding the confidence of every stakeholder we serve. In the real estate industry, this becomes even more crucial, and the importance of conducting searches and understanding any existing encumbrances on assets cannot be overemphasized.
The Ghana Association of Real Estate Brokers also raised concerns over increasing cases of fraudulent land transactions and unlicensed operators within the industry. The association urged the public to work only with licensed professionals and verified brokers through recognized regulatory bodies before engaging in any transaction.
There are standards, there are requirements, there is oversight, there are disciplinary processes. So when people operate outside the law, illegally, without registration and without accountability, they should be used, they should not be used as the face of the profession.
And that was a report on Bank of Ghana pushing stronger property checks as real estate fraud concerns grow. And a massive security breach has crippled critical infrastructure at the Long Ideal Commander Sugar Factory and exposing systematic neglect in a 20-month backlog of unpaid salaries for security personnel. These have led to equipment theft crippling Commander Sugar Factory. The Municipal Police Command has arrested 3 suspects amidst allegations of insider collusion and initial police inaction. Authorities have assured the public that operations are underway to recover the stolen machinery and run up all remaining perpetrators. Thieves reportedly gained unrestricted overnight access to the facility's utility and water processing zones. Spending hours undisturbed, the syndicate dismantled and carted off 7 heavy-duty industrial motors, leaving behind only a single large spray pump motor on site. And now let's take a look at how the city is faring against other major trading currencies and how some of the key commodities are also faring on the global market.
On the interbank foreign exchange market, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis, 73 pesos. It gained 1 peso. The British pound is selling at 15 cedis, 80 pesos. It gained 4 pesos. The euro is selling at 13 cedis, 70 pesos. It also gained 4 pesos. However, be guided that these figures could be higher at a forex bureau near you. On the global commodities market, Brent crude is trading at $91.12 per barrel. Gold is trading at $4,540.26 per ounce, up by $44.97. Cocoa is trading at $3,923 per ton, down by $176.
Well, on that note, we enter the business news. For more news updates, just log on to our website. It's 3news.com. In a world where you can be anything, just be kind. It costs nothing to be kind. Enjoy morning.